Welcome back to a new video, and this is going to be more or less the audiobook version of Biden's diary. Ashley Biden, the single daughter of Joe Biden. I think she's 40 years old right now. This is the 112-page PDF file that I managed to get where, of course, the FBI and these people are trying to suppress the information, but I will be covering the entire extent of this diary, and this is going to be purely Kino content. Okay, so we're going to start with January 25th, 2019. In January, the end of a new year month, and I'm sitting in a bed at the I building, actually loving the freedom yet support I feel outside my doors. Florida seems safe and comforting to me. I am supposed to map out the rest of my years though. 5 years, 3 years, 1 year. I'm also trying to sort out my life. What is that and what do I need? Focused on myself this time around, but like a kid with Asperger's, unsettled in the change. I obviously don't know the future and what it holds, but also don't know where I'll be going. But I would like to remember something. Although getting high on like an Asperger's kid, what we pay attention to grows. So if I turned to another strategy to acknowledge what really was hurting, or just pretend to put it away out of a consciousness. So again, really weird, but let's go on to the next day. So 26th. So open our eyes to a new light. I have wandered around, yet determined land all night. No, you darkened land all night. In the morning, because I realized that part of this thick pain in my heart is related to the fact that I do not have my brother as part of my life. That's heavy and a sad truth. Okay, it's running here in and what the fuck? What is this handwriting? Actually nice to be in a building. Don't have to deal with the chaos of it all. I am slowly healing in new ways. This past time has been a relapse that maybe I needed. So that's kind of a good reference there, relapse. As Lisa said, this is just part of your journey, and this feels right. I'm concentrated on Ken last time. I not myself. This is going to be different. I may go see mom today. I didn't have to add, do I? I've made peace with all of it. Somehow, maybe it was trust time. Maybe it was just that you needed it to heal. By giving time, I was walking through it. I wanted to imagine a different, or rather, more fulfilled life for myself. I definitely involve to making it a sobriety, time I hard to concentrate destinations in the next few months. So again, her writing style is fucking terrible. I do not understand what she's saying. A year from now, January of 2020, been sober from cocaine plus hard drugs for a year, working on livelihood as in a job or a project. 3, living, find Florida weather, but home is where family is. 4, super solid single as beginning to date, finding romance. 5, not in relationship, limbo. 6, eggs frozen / harvested / pregnant. That's gross. 7, fucking non-smoker. Okay. 8, explaining other opportunities and taking them. Fuck career. 4, career. 9, no debt plus credit built. I know the adventure must be added to my sobriety list, and it is, and I'm jumping in somewhere, going to get my care, then seeing where the day takes me. What is my number one goal today? To see if you cannot smoke a cigarette without others. Do not contact Ken. I think Ken is her husband. Attend 2 meetings. Do something fun for self. Movie ? Okay, January 27th. Today is the day to start anew. To start over again. I have been preoccupied with thoughts of Ken, but he is in no push to give me what I need. His life has been turned upside down by not seeing his daughter, and if I care for him, despite the fact that he played unintentionally with my heart, I will let him go. My strategy? He is gay. It broke my heart to see him in this place. I think what keeps coming up for me is my brothers. How I didn't have them in my life anymore. I am looking forward to starting my clinical week. Really diving into therapy and waking up in the parts that we need love, support, and tenderness. What does that look like? Well, for starters, it begins with truly willing all of it willing to go for all expectations, committing myself to reality at all cost, knowing this is where I'll find ultimate serenity. So here she mentions not having her brothers, which includes the one that I guess died in the car crash and the one that died from brain cancer, Beau Biden, in 2015. She's also saying a coping strategy for her, like getting over her divorced husband or whatever, who cheated on her multiple times, is by thinking that he is gay, which is weird. But okay. It involves me engaging actively in the program with my sponsor, going to meetings, following the day of clinical stuff, praying, meditation. You did do well training your mind to be quiet. I have to be abstinent. Do not want to fight it anymore. It involves focusing on all that I need to focus on. It involves me being with the people who are amiable to love me and give me support. It involves me willing to go surrender emotionally and spiritually on my knees. It involves doing the work and doing it well. I think my age plays into it a part. At this age, 37, about to turn 38, without children or husband, is a close path forward. Not ready or wanting to go out of comfortability at Howard. It is trying to deal with my extremes. Do I cut off entirely, plus not talking in my mind, or make it over? What's the healthy way to be? It is either all or nothing. How do I cope with the unknown, and how will it go? Wanting it to reach, to share my life to others, balance and reality, and I'm walking the line. So she makes a drawing here. So this is like a 12-year-old's drawing. This is so funny. How do I act? What if I know in my gut that this is no longer there? What are the good things? Can you figure out self for the engaging? Yes, it happened. Even though I made it happen, what were the positive things about it happening? I can feel passion /sex. Then attraction is important. What is the result? Wanting to have sex to avoid dealing with emotions. Why can't it be with him? So her husband, not emotionally available, dealing with my daughter /wife, dealing with Howard, emotional intimacy and unstable, ups and downs, cutting another person's control, emotional states, feeling harsh, all plus then nothing at all, roller coaster, not taking care of yourself, crying over my power. He could die, another loss. What can I do to improve? Not reach out and text and the phone. Not deliberately try to be around him. He is dangerous for me right now. Willing to go without God, do opposite of instinct. Here, the bizarre conundrum. Life is short, don't waste it. To grab is what you want to do, so fuck it. Versus use time. No, cut time, be time, will heal. Time is that side plus only way. But what if I don't feel like it? What if I don't feel like I have a lot of time? So to simplify, keep it simple. Let go. Let God inward focus, one day at a time. This is so incoherent. Okay. So 27th, it's been a strange weekend. What I feel in my gut, it feels like it's been over, at least for now. It seems probably like a long time. What I know now is that he is hurting and doesn't respect my mind enough, thinking that I have anything to offer, thinking I am obsessive, which I am, compulsive, which I am, and clingy. But these are only parts of me and only parts of the disease. And as senile, or as, I don't know what that means, I need to let go of him. And I am, but I still want to be his friend. Although, is that even possible? Question mark. Is it even possible to be a friend? They tell me I am feeling strange by the day. Really trying to keep focus on me. Have faith, real faith. That thing will be. I will be living a life beyond my wildest dreams. I will, for now, use the fellowship at my higher power. I am going to do 90 and 90. We'll make the 7 a.m. meeting tomorrow at Crossroads and have a full day of therapy. I will get a massage tomorrow too. I think he's rather immature. It gets uncomfortable being around me, and I hate that. His entire disposition has changed, and he did say that it wasn't like that forever, but the guy who I thought I was failing for is no longer here. It's just not him anymore. I want sobriety at all costs, and I'm willing to go to any way to get it. I want a miraculous life filled with things, people, and plans I love. Okay, a few things that were said and nothing that resonated with me, except your powerlessness over situations. The more I try to hold on, the more I will lose. Align views to untruths, who you are, etc. What do I have? Integrity, honesty, passion, kindness, random too, respect, love, family, humor, fun, compassion, trust, equity, equality. I do value myself. I value the woman I am, but I am not honoring her. That's retarded. Also, think that we did not end being together. I have no more illusions. The thing that really makes me wonder, I quiver. I saw it for the first night I was with him when he kicked me out of that car and left me to walk home. Doesn't give a damn really. Super self-interested. Never asks about whether you're okay. Follows up on anything. Cannot be bothered. Constantly spilling. Could be something else though. So not trying to be judgmental here. His looks sometimes make me uncomfortable. Bottom line, I don't think he was who I thought he was. What the hell? So then what am I going to do? Say for now, I want to get up early for meeting 90 and 90. So next day, finally. So the 28th of January of 2019, I'm grateful for another day. I'm grateful for my father. I'm grateful for the bird, Theo. Is that it? Saying outside of my window when asked for because he is here with me. Dear Ken, when I first met you, I felt an instant yet unattainable attraction. I was then surprised to be happy that there was someone my age from my area, plus felt a familiarity. The first week of treatment, you were here and were focused on myself, but in the back of my mind, I wondered when you were coming back again, and I felt a mutual attraction. This is where it all began. The text messages, flirtations, and nature. The first night we were going to meet, I didn't call, and I was walking home, but let you know that I didn't think it was whatever. You were disappointed, saying I left you hanging, so I gave in the first time you met. Kissing you for the first time was magic. I remember thinking that I could just kiss you forever, and one thing led to another, and we were entangled in each other's arms and had mind-blowing sex. Towards the end of your wife called, and you rushed to kick me out of the car. I smoked a cigarette while you sat in the car talking to her, and I remember thinking this was a disaster. You come out to tell me you had to go, could drive me home, but I insisted on walking. I cried on my way back, thinking about how incredible an experience, but how awful the ending felt, as if I had trusted if I'd just been used for the sex. A street walker, there was no place in my heart. A familiar feeling came around me, and I was used to it because you dealt with me the way how sorry you were for how it went down and asked if you could make it up to me, and I was in it, so continued. Your text messages plus sentiments became stronger throughout the next few weeks. My last day with you, I cried as you held my face. You told me that the future was unknown. We made the decision to not communicate over the holidays. You wanted a few mornings late, the 23rd, saying how much you missed me, and said that you knew you shouldn't contact me but couldn't help yourself, that you wanted to know who you were sleeping on the couch and hadn't left your mind. The text and sexting continued from there, sending each other pictures to make sweet promises. You begged me to see you the weekend of the 12th, saying it could be a crime to not see what still existed outside of the bubble. I was conflicted because I didn't want to be a mistress, honestly didn't want to be that woman in your life, but I came back to Ocean Drive, conflicted, needed to process both I guess Jose and Randall were out that week, and I thought it would have been after you being told to talk about it that it would be a release of power. It became more confused, ashamed of being in our business at the open. A few days before the New Year's, you texted me my texted me my ats or O's, I don't know what that is, and I began speaking sexually, then ended abruptly, and it felt like bizarrely familiar again. I felt used and thought it was selfish. I may have not have been permanently a good sex life at home, but I did have a partner who thought about me and my needs before his. I wrote you a text that you should concentrate on being at home. How could you see if anything is possible with your wife when you're sexting with a Sam, I guess that is. You asked me if you wanted to think about it, and hours later you said you thought it was alright, but then you still wanted to see me at the 12th and the weekend. Our conversation/content got more sparse. I had to admit, though, that being said, it wasn't what you wanted. I texted you on the 8th/9th of January to ask about the 12th weekend. You responded that you were in conflict and didn't think it was the best. I broke down and numbed my feelings in cocaine. We didn't speak for the next 10 to 12 days as I inquired about what had thought. Was it insanity? The spark I had desired for so long. I was finally coming around to letting it all 90 with you. Then reassure a treat on Tuesday, this 22nd. I don't know what the fuck. You haven't left my mind. I relapsed. I'm going to Karen no needles. My wife is divorcing me. Wish you were here. I'd like to get sober and try it with you, but if you don't, I'll understand. I guess I wanted this to happen on some level. It was not that I wished for, but minus relapse, but didn't think it would be possible. On the Friday of the 25th, you once again went radio silent, saying you needed time to figure shit out. I wanted to make sure how very clear that I would have to be to you. Can only focus on myself right now. Your life is at stake, but for my health and sanity, what am I supposed to do with the emotions, the roller coaster? You're telling me that you were on heroin, and I had just been kicked out of your own house. While wanting those intense texts makes my stomach churn, feeling used, an innocent victim in your twisted, wicked games. So where do we go from here? I have been working on letting go, but I did not want to resent you. I am here for sexual trauma loss. Both of you have walked it and had it. I have a part in all of this. This is my week, and I have myself to get involved with unavailable men who cannot give me what I need. Maybe this was a fantasy I created in my head. Maybe you were just doing it. You were just fucking an addicted girl being safe, made by another, or the fact that the sex was incredible. For the first time in a long time, whatever it was that feeling felt remained unsettled. I think it was the best time in person. This is the 30th of January, so 3 days after what I just read. So thankful that January is almost here over. C'est la vie. It is my day, goddammit, and it better be my last. I have had one of the hardest days, and my sex drive is out of fucking control. Like, literally, I am in the act. I am in heat. Ugh. I told Kevin the truth about how I was feeling exposed, vulnerable, so didn't have the dinner. Needed a break from seeing him. We were supposed to have therapy session on Monday, and I am still unsure of it all. There's a piece of me that still wishes I did not have to do it, but maybe it was healing, and then again, maybe it would open up more wounds that would help me longer to adjust with what I am feeling. I'm going to give it a few days to see how I feel. I erased his number from my phone, so can't contact him unless he is to contact me first, which he wasn't going to do. I think I needed to have sex in order to feel good about not having sex in the first place. Neil's friend is a sex addict, which might work out well. I know it's not the healthiest way to deal with things, but at least it is better than drugs. I am focused on myself and my needs. Plus, sex seems to be, at least at this moment, to be one of the best things. I don't know if I even need to kiss a guy just to come over. Fuck me, sober. I think I'm going to go to the AA meeting tomorrow night, and maybe he will be there, maybe not. But I have always been this crazy. I remember pulling up my skirt in 2nd grade and showing the boys my underpants, hypersexualized at a young age. What does this due to? Was I molested? I think so. I cannot remember specifics, but I do remember trauma. I remember not liking the sex house. I remember something being sexualized with Caroline. I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showers with my dad, probably not appropriate. Being turned on when I wasn't supposed to be. I remember the Q-tips. I hated getting my ears clean. Beating my vagina due to overhearing my parents having sex. What made me so attached? My mother was not emotionally available. My father was a guy who was someone I could get love from men. I don't know what that meant. I am not your mother, he said. Blanket being taken away. Nothing but to myself. Not letting myself go to the bathroom. Being wiped until too late in the game. I could list all of the reasons why I cannot seem to find the solution. So again, this is Natalie. This is Ashley Biden. So this is basically saying that she was molested by Joe Biden. Ugh. Okay. Well. Anyways, 31st of January. She mistakenly said the last day of February. I just think she's retarded. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I'm getting better each day and realizing the intimate. Okay, let me skip this. Confident that I can do what I deserve. Livelihood 2.0. Okay, this is a bunch of bullshit. She says you will all have what you desire. Trust the process. Trust yourself and your ability to manifest all of your dreams. You got this. Again, she misspelled another word. Ashley Blazer Biden. Okay, so that is Ashley. She has a prayer in there. I don't need to read this. Okay. Okay, next diary entry. The last day of January. For some reason, the 27th just sticks in my head as being a great day. My ego always in the way. I always meet a woman at meeting last night, and she was holding a baby, 2 months old. She doesn't look like me, doesn't know how educated, just totally different though. Yet she helped me more today than anybody has, and maybe I was ready to receive it all, and I'm really grateful. I feel at least a weight has been lifted one day at a time. February 1st. Hooray. That much closer to spring. Although I need to stay present, I am grateful for me today. I have had some ups and downs. Started the day with boxing, which was incredible. Going to Sundays as well. And next Wednesday and Friday, Kevin and I are having a therapy session next week, which will be difficult, super awkward, but it will provide me with closure, which is what I need. I am going to have a meeting tonight at 7 p.m. Marshalls for clothes, and then maybe a movie. Middle-aged white woman alert. Okay, tomorrow I already have my day planned. Getting up in the a.m., I'm going to go to the gym, then have a shower. 9 a.m. gym, 10 a.m. shower/home, 11:30 a.m. lunch plus men's house, 2:45 single process plus blowout, 5 p.m. dinner, 7 or 8 p.m. meeting, hang out with Neil ? Sunday, 7:30 to 9 a.m. boxing, beach with Bo, which is retarded because he was dead. 11:30 a.m. brunch at woman's house. Beach during the day. Meeting at some point. 5:30 p.m. dinner. Super Bowl at guy's house. Okay. Monday. Clinical schedule. When I love so hard, and I get focused on them, their love, their need for me to be loved, their validation, there's something. Here I am talking about another man when I am married. It all feels strange and disputed, but what is in common in that theme of life is that I keep relapsing, plus I cannot trust the time around. I need to stay sober long enough to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I keep relapsing, and in week again, the longest period of sobriety has been almost a year, and that was horribly painful. Due to the diagnoses, I have not been sober in so fucking long. I need to get sober, plus stay this way long enough to find inner peace and happiness, and I am worth it. I'm 37 years old, plus this needs to happen. I cannot waste any more time now. So she set the wall. I got my ass to Shabbat dinner, met Danny, I guess, plus Sunny. She is the sweetest little girl. She drew me a rainbow and thought about how nice it would all be to one day have children. Reframing of my life. So on the 2nd of February of 2019, early morning, the sun has not yet shown its shine to itself. I have continued to work around in my faith, and everything should be exactly how it's meant to be. It is me week to day, plus I am feeling more settled in the knowing God has a plan for me, one that I do not know right now, and that's all I need to know for now. I have struggled for control, for absolutes, for some assurances that I will get as long as I'm still struggling. I do know that I would like to quit smoking for my own health. This is the 4th of February, Hunter's birthday, Hunter Biden. Okay, so that guy's evil. Anyways, yesterday was Bo's birthday. Had a beautiful day at the beach in the sun, followed by a meeting and a blown out candle after meditations where I prayed for him. Things with Kevin have been friendly and stable. He actually texted me the first time last night to tell me he was glad that I had a good day on Bo's birthday. I have a therapy session with him tomorrow, which makes me nervous, but think will provide closure for both of us, and it's been a roller coaster of a ride, and I think that this will be when I figure out when I want to ask and what I want to say. He is home today, signing papers for his new house. I am staying an extra week, plus I will go home on Monday after group, although I do not want to start hanging out with a new guy, etc., who has been on a lot and is clean, plus sober these days. He lives in Florida, and he was so cute. He has his own style and swag. It has been refreshing to be able to kiss another man. He has been a great kisser. Okay, pause. And he is calming and sweet. I can tell he is that I could fall for another, and that's a little scary, but taking it all day by day and never know what the future holds. I am reading about a more down to Florida to get my 6 months under my belt. I could wrap things up at home and make more, but I'm going to stay in the present, stay in today. I have a lot of working to do in the next week, and I'm going to be focusing on getting it all done. Babs I have on Wednesday. I am so grateful for her friendship. She has been the rock that keeps me happy, and I'm going out this week and then going home. So moving to Florida, pros for her would be the recovering community, the weather, time to be with people who don't use, substances, away from family and drama, space to focus on only me, having, I don't know what that means, time to figure out and I don't know, sponsor here, cons, away from Athena, away from family, having TOB, I don't know what that means, and don't move for a man. Okay, whatever. Honestly, think he is out of my system. The man who he was with me is no longer. Neil had a meltdown, plus said I was putting others at risk, was full of shit about my own recovery, and couldn't be in my life anymore. What I didn't realize is that I've been trying to recreate a relationship with my brother that is no longer in existence. I need to confide in women and not men. Started spending time with ENC, I don't know who that is, and I would like my time with him. He is easy, fun, smart, and sweet, plus gives attention that I know I need. So here she's pointing out that she doesn't confide in Hunter Biden anymore, which is pretty pathetic. I don't know. It's like each relationship gets closer to what I want it to be, showing me more and more of what I want, and I won't see him tonight, and that's okay because I'm exhausted, and I'm sure Neil has also gotten in his ears. Did I mention that Ken is an afterthought? Kevin and I were sexually what I needed, but not emotionally, and I can see now that he wouldn't provide me with the love, support, and attention that I needed, and he didn't have the empathy needed to be on the sweet side. I know that ENC does, but also know that ENC isn't ready for a relationship. It has been known to drift outside. I am not sure what I want to do now, and I'm feeling like the others focus on myself, and wish it could be. I so wish that I could see him tonight, just lay with him until it is too late. I need to provide myself with him abruptly walking away. Okay, so February 7th, 2019, owning my power and realizing unlimited happiness resides within. He did call last night, and it warned me because a little preoccupied. I did not like it. So today I am focusing on continuing my own power and not to attract him to make me feel better. He said he left his phone in case, but who knows? I have faith that I will be used to the presence down there in the path is right for me. I am working on not letting others control me on my emotions. It is not healthy as a space to be. The truth is, everything I thought I knew ended up being entirely accurate. Kevin was a soulmate, plus we were going to end up together, etc. What I knew was that the feelings change, situations change, and I'm looking for stability in myself. I do not know how much more, but I'm going to go on my way to find it. So this is the 8th of February, 8th of February 2019. What is my part in this? my pace or my pact is that I spoke to many people about my situation with Kevin, asked for many options, and to get validation that I am good enough and say enough and to be enough to people. It is over with Kevin, and he has to deal with his own drama. I don't think that I don't think this offers that I will be able to look at him the same way again. I am going to walk away from all that I think was in my head. Kevin is emotionally immature as I am, and I realize he does not want to be with me anymore, so maybe that's a gift, and this all could be used and should only tell people I trust who have my back about anything. It is about being a woman and not the little girl. I think I need to re-victimize myself over and over again, and I should never try to talk about men or sex about any of my bullshit. Interesting. Okay. Still the 9th. He can come over this morning. He fell asleep with his phone on vibrate. I overreacted and now see myself can get so ahead of myself. In my mind, he was on a boat with another woman. He was on a boat with the other women and ignoring all my texts. I think he is nervous to be where this guess, and I think, but I will only do everything with kindness, one day at a time. Early mornings, Kevin did not come to dinner last night. He has been avoiding me like the plague. Mean, cold, and distant. I guess this is his go-to and better. I find out while I'm here. His behavior, his words, manipulative. I'm not going to be dealing with him all this year. Yet I've still tried. I am trying. I keep thinking that a wore down whore would be glad for me, but I think I question myself. What? Anyways, I do not think I should more. What? This is so repetitive. Like, let's keep going. Okay. So Kevin is still in love with his girlfriend. What the fuck? Honestly, I am incredible. I'm an incredible catch. Plus, didn't know if he was just trying to fill a hole, having difficult time being alone. Although last night, also, this is how women think. She's just talking about how she's a drug addict, how she's a sex addict, and she says, I'm an incredible catch. Like, no, you're not. The best thing she has going on for her was that her dad was the vice president. That's about it. Okay, this was 2019. So she had no clout. So shut the fuck up, bitch. You're 37. You're not 18 years old. You have no... Come on. Okay. The recovery thing takes a while to set in each time, and the situation with Kevin is a blessing in disguise because I am going to get over it all. He is up one minute and then down the next. He is not the kind of guy who has treated me like an asshole, and still I remain kind because that's what I want to be. But I do know that I have new boundaries and no longer possess the intense feelings that have faded even with my desire to be loved by him and so much. Okay, so the 11th of February. In manipulation, it is his fault. He will earn a great trust. The plan will happen in spite of him not being one of us. Sexual abuse for sure. Weak boundaries. The day ended up with a positive note. He has a great clinical day. This is just like such a bad writing. Like the handwriting, all of this is awful. Okay, so let me go to the 12th of February. Learning to fly with my half-developed wings, coming down on the hardest thing. This is so girly. What the fuck? I hate this. Okay, 16th of February. Then everything happens for a reason. To the people that don't come together. Can I and will be able to go back there? My energy levels are stable and feel zero desire to smoke. When my mom worked me up this weekend, I grounded myself. I breathed. It actually worked. My system is off, but getting adjusted to new medications. I need to drink plenty of water. Going to use the gym later on today. Whatever. Okay. We're going to keep going. 2017. No. February 17th. I am pissed, freaking out. I'm actually insane. Thinking of Howard, my husband, with another woman. It's actually not fair. Plus, not right. I have been with other men. Plus, it is not fair at all. Why am I feeling this way? I need more time to try to figure it out. Does this mean that I am still into my husband? It's about giving in time. The impulses, the reactions. I need to pause, relax, and take a little more to make of something that distracts me. He's probably sound asleep, but definitely not healthy. It makes me sad, but he is an internal poverty by. I do think that if this was slightly different, things might be. I do think that he uses much more than he should have to could have. So what? She says she's sober, but like the way she write this is like completely incoherent. It's like her dad wrote this. Okay, skip over this T-chart stuff and like her little like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. Like, okay, who cares? Okay. Let's go down. I think I gotta slow my roll a little bit and focus on what made me recover. There are many loose ends to tie up, and I'm moving a little fast. I am crazy attracted to his height, body type, plus psychic. All I know is that he feels right to heavy at the same time. I am different than my family. I never gave a shit about the rules, ways to be, and make you feel less than for not being. He reminds me of Jamie, and then it's censored. I don't know why. Taking me back to one of my first loves. I also haven't had to pretend yet, which makes me slightly nervous, but I am expecting one day now that a really crazy love comes into my amazing journey. Okay. The sweetness that once encompassed me ramped up with me when my brother died. All of the attention, all the trust went out of the window the day that Howard went ahead with the feeding tube. I have figured out, but don't think I am about to get it back. What? Again, this is so difficult to read, okay, guys? This is not my fault. All right. The 20th of February. Yeah. Okay, she's still talking about this Jamie person that is censored out. If my dad runs it, if dad runs H truly messes up everything with homeboy. It makes me nervous, but that is not happening today. I have to stay in the moment. He feels heavy, but need to keep it up easy. And then she writes $2,529.45. I don't know why she put that in there. Okay. Holy crap. This is the 24th of February. Holy crap. Here we go again. Not going down the rabbit hole. So much has happened. My marriage is over, and it breaks my heart. There are no feelings of I need to be with him. I need to see him. I need to kiss him. Pause. I am chalking this up to an ops and mourning on to here. What the fuck does that mean? So she got cheated on by her husband apparently, but I think she cheated on him first. So it's her fault. Okay. Maybe I can't see if my parents are willing to give me a loan. I don't know where to turn. Maybe I turned to Bobby and then blacked out. I feel like what? So she's asking for a loan from her parents apparently. The 25th of February feels crazy and anxiety producing. Nothing I can do about it today, but do the best that I can and take it one a day, an hour at a time. I told Kirsten that I am resigning at ED, and she was shocked but super supportive. I have to have faith that this will all work out. So she is so incompetent that she is. She is basically saying, I'm going to quit my job and my dad's going to take care of me, which is like, come on. You're so incompetent. Okay, last day of February. This is going to be, 'twas the night before solitude, and all throughout the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Okay, so she's LARPing about, like, Disney? Okay, fine, fuck it. And I am assuming that he is still picking me up. I'm quitting with the firm. He was angry as fuck tonight on the phone. I do pray that he is not using. His phone is off. I would be responsible on some level. Who cares, man? Break away. Okay. March. Jesus Christ. She has an insecurity about being childless at 37, which is pretty reasonable given that she is probably like 15 years past her prime at this point. Anyways, let's go ahead and go further into some good content here because I personally cannot stand this shit. And I don't want to be here for 3 hours reading this. I already gone for several minutes, and I'm on only page 65, okay? So let's go ahead and keep going. I'm surprised there's so much about her love life, which, I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised, but this is, like, really girly and dramatic, and I just cannot deal with this. I was trying to find out, like, what happened with her dad, but it seems like she only mentioned her getting molested by her dad a little bit, which I don't think does her justice, because she's talking about, like, oh, I'm a drug addict, and it's like, well, if you're a drug addict, then You know, maybe you getting groped by your dad was a big part of it. I don't know. But she doesn't talk about that because I guess she wants to cover for her dad, even like subconsciously in a diary that she didn't know would leak. Okay. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and go to the 23rd of March of 2019. Okay. So let's go ahead, and tonight I have a dance with Kate Boehner, right? I have to make sure I am keeping a tight budget, $40K to last me for 6 months. And it feels like a little much, but I am confident that I will do it. There is a piece of me that feels like I should get a U-Haul because I have so much stuff to bring. I was going to pack the car without bags, so there is more room, but I am not going. It's not going to be easy, especially with a tall guy in the car. I can do it all, though. I'm going to keep pushing. Keep going. All right. So she's overwhelmed. She's moving to Florida. She's supposed to live on $8,000 a month, which is not bad at all. And she's doing this from like daddy's money, I suppose. Okay. So let's keep going here. So she's dating a new guy, a new tall guy, whatever. All right. So this is July 2019. It's the 16th. The thunder moon is upon us. What the fuck does that mean? Her handwriting has changed too, and she's using a different pen as well, which is interesting. This is slightly more legible too, with like the thicker bold print. I guess I can appreciate that as well. Okay. Why recreate what has been done to you? Because if there is any place that is known to me, he is used to cope. Now I know why nobody has made an audiobook version of this diary. This is so incoherent, and I'm really just doing the country a big service. Like, people say, oh, you know, you fight for your country in Vietnam or whatever. It's like, nah, I served my country by reading this incoherent, middle-aged, drug addict, sex addict, molested girls diary, okay? Oh, but Lalo, you're skimming through half of it. Yes, because this is awful. I cannot take this anymore. Rather get in a gunfight. Psych. Her finances are down to the wire. Okay, so she's already wasting her money. Okay. Stress addiction has created money issues. Okay. She's lying about addiction since the age of 13. Lied to her mom and dad, Howard, the kids, and her entire family. Lied to herself. She's guilty and ashamed of having to deal with face. I guess that's what it said. Canceling obligations, putting herself in dangerous situations. Fear of being caught. Okay. So resentful of God, Sarah, Alyssa, right? Allison, Kelly, Hunter. Okay, so she resents Hunter, which is awesome. Hunter Biden. She resents her mom, her dad, Howard, and her cousins, her kids in general, the newspaper. That makes no sense. Why? She's resentful of God for taking Bo, which is like, I mean, that's not his fault. Resents Sarah for body, Allison for body, so she's jealous. She's a bitch. She resents Hunter Biden for drugs plus family. So again, Hunter is a drug addict and treats the family like shit. Pretty normal. She resents her mom because of her dad, which makes no sense. She resents her dad because of money and control, I suppose. She wants more money from her dad, and she wants him to be less controlling over her life, which is like, I mean, like, why do you expect him to like bankroll you your entire life if you're in your 30s, first of all, and second of all, control? I mean, clearly you're not in control, right, bitch? So like, come on. She finds her mom to be patronizing. Fine. Let me see this. Hurt. She's hurt over her dad. Hurting self, lying. So Joe Biden lies a lot. I mean, yeah, we all know that. Her mom lies and not showing up and being absent. She also hurt. Or no. Wait, she's hurting these people by lying to them. Her addiction, not being present. Okay, that makes more sense. I guess. Okay, this is kind of interesting. This like T-chart. Financially, rotations. I wanna read about Hunter because Hunter's like satanic. That guy's like the American Psycho if he were completely incompetent, like a drug addict pedophile. Let me see. Ooh, physically, not strong and healthy, skinny, aging skin, gross. Ew, old woman alert. Uh, okay, let's keep going. So August, 2 months in Delray. So I guess that's like a rehab facility or something. Um. Okay. So let's go down. All right. It only gets worse, and once that is gone, there's little to do but get it back. Natalie's birthday is today. Proud of the young woman she is becoming. I am feeling grateful / proud to be her auntie. The girls have been distant with me. Maybe it's uh my love for Haley. Continued support. I cannot pressure them anymore to forgive. Thinking to hydrate it to reboot my week forward. Thinking it's fitting that Kelly would take the day of rather Maine, August 3rd to 30th. What the fuck does that mean? What? Day 2, to be honest, I am triggered because of him. There was one brief moment that I thought he might be a great idea, and I might quickly... She uses the word triggered, which is funny, but I don't see the point. Okay. So August 30th of 2019, it's been wanting silly how this date has become such an significance in my life, but it was the day I began to be a clean user. The journey has lasted for 6 years without drinking, plus some days I mess it all up, and other times I must time what what is, like, she's not making any sense. She doesn't even bother finishing like this page too. All right. Today's theme was denial. To be compassionate for others, I think, is what she meant. Okay. Keep going down. So September 1st, first day of September, usually my favorite month, the beginning of fall, the end to a long summer. I'm still trying to put the pieces back together, figuring out long-term plans. Okay. Everything, her handwriting changes yet again, which is kind of weird. I can't even read this handwriting. Why did it change again? So I guess she changed pen, and it looks completely weird. Comment down below if you can read this, because I totally cannot. Like, why even bother? Like, my eyes are burning looking at the screen for this long. September 8th of 2019, in bed with my coffee, had nightmares all night. Dreamt that I would go with Brendan, who was with Liz at the time. Dreamed that people from my past were trying to kill me. The speaker from last night, plus some new orphans peeps. Kept getting phone calls from people who said that they wanted to kill me, plus hiding all dream. Thinking it was drugs that are trying to kill me. Today it was 6 days clean to sober, plus sober. What? I don't get it. She talks about all these boyfriends she has. Like, what the hell? Just pick one at a time. Jeez. It's like Kevin, ENC, Howard, Brendan, the tall guy. Come on. All within a span of like 6 months, too. You're like, you're crazy. You're a slut. Dead ass. Okay, so September 15th, 2019, at 6 a.m. in the morning, rainy, foggy, has brought it down inside the head of mine. Pretty amazing in the moment. Whatever. Poignant advice. So, whatever. I'm aware of the intensity psychologically. Okay. I am feeling intense sadness, feeling homesick, and interestingly, I have only had 3 more nights and 2 more days. I may ask if I can have home Wednesday. What? Although I want to link it up on the internet. Again, how does this make sense? Feelings, those motherfuckers. I think I'm going to ask to have on Tuesday morning, afternoon of maybe I need to stay through Wednesday. I am going to give it up to the higher power, and plus, Ken, and then blacked out name. What was the fucking point? He was too good to be true. He fucked around with my heart, totally used me We loved he loved his wife the entire time. I blocked it out. I was able to of him. I was used because of him. I need to get honest about that with someone. I didn't think I realized the pain that I was being caused today. Funny how things surface. It was a long while since I've been sober for 14 days. I don't know what these series of numbers mean, so that's kind of schizo. September 16th. Meditation with Meredith today. She took us on the island of possibilities. What the fuck is she talking about? We were happy. Okay, for me, it was Howard with me, being happy together with children. That was the first time for me that there were children by my side, on my back, plus Howard, with whom I loved. So I guess that's her, like, fantasy. So she wants kids, but she's a slut. So, like, you would think she would have already had a kid. So she's probably had abortions in the past, honestly. Okay. So still the 16th of September 2019, continued. Okay. It will be one more week when I will be here to deal with all of the fucked up triggers, stressors. I've recommitted myself to health and wellness. I'll be there for the kids, my parents, for Howard, for myself. This needed to happen. It was a perfect timing, divine intervention. I will live in Bo's honor. I will stop hurting myself. I will stop abusing my body. I will surrender to feeling. I will surrender to the disease wholeheartedly, fully, completely, gladly. September 18th, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. Put my key in the door and bodies laying all over the floor. And I don't remember how I got there, but I guess I must have killed them. So right here, on the 18th, she's referencing 3 a.m. by Eminem on the Relapse album. And she's saying it's 3 a.m. in the morning and I can't sleep. Went to bed at 10 p.m., 5 hours of sleep. I knew it was because I had a strong cup of coffee at 4 p.m. and I was going to go home today. I had a beautiful, Keith said it was profound and meaningful words that I have beauty plus pure muscle in that brain I am having here reviewed, restored, need energy for my life. 16 days ago I was dropped off and now I am waving with having more confidence plus hope that I've ever had in a while. I am so grateful for the people I've met and what I learned, what I earned, and who am I becoming without the pursuit of shit polluting my precious body. It has been 7 days without a cigarette, plus 16 days without any substances in this body of mine. Keep going, moving ahead to a healthier life filled with wellness. Okay, so that is the entire diary of Ashley Biden, 112 pages. You saw the entirety of the thing, and yeah. It goes from January 25th of 2019 to September 18th or 19th, I believe, of 2019. So over the course of about 8 months, oh my god. She is fucking insane. This is worse than Mein Kampf in terms of writing coherency, like a lot of the same topics broached over and over again. She's a sex addict, she's a drug addict, can't handle money, of course, has a ton of daddy issues, mommy issues. She's probably heartbroken over her dead brother, how her other brother Hunter is a piece of shit. She seems to not, like, she hates everybody in her family, but like besides a couple people, including the kids, right, which don't really count. So yeah, Ashley Biden is crazy. She's schizo. She's borderline schizo. She's crazy. The way she writes, the handwriting, it's so hard to read. So I hope you guys can empathize with me not being able to read all of it, because this is awful and my eyes burn. And honestly, the way that people commentate on this, you would honestly think that at some point you would see maybe a sort of renaissance of coverage over the Biden family, but this has not been the case. If you look at things with a clear-eyed view, you would notice that honestly they're not covered the way they ought to be. And I feel like the final diagnosis for this is that she needs psychiatric help, and the type of help where like a mental institution. Like, she's insane. She resents her dad for trying to control her, but I mean, like, I hate Joe Biden, but this is like somewhere where he is right. This girl is crazy, and she is not healthy enough to take care of herself. Clearly, she's not in the mental condition to keep going forward. I feel like she needs to be interned somehow, and I think that the Ashley Biden thing needs to be taken care of. I think that this audiobook is instrumental. I think if more people knew about her condition, that more people would ultimately be able to sympathize with her in a way that people are not now. Anyway, so yeah. So a lot of the problems that the Biden family does seem to have is clearly not something that is their fault. A lot of it is pre-installed. Like obviously, like they had two of the kids in the family die in a car crash, and Joe Biden's original wife dying. That's bad enough. But a lot of this other stuff, like drug addiction and sex addiction, is pretty avoidable, and they ought to not have done that. And so much for being a good Catholic, Joe Biden, you piece of shit. Anyways, I did load up the Google Trends for what is going on with Ashley Biden, the diary, and, an example being, for example, here you go. Ashley Biden was relevant for maybe 1 week during the inauguration because I guess there were Sims for her, I suppose. But as soon as that happened, there was zero coverage about her, despite her being crazy, right? And yeah, she's rocketing real quick to what was I gonna say? Because of the diary, but it's not to the extent that it needs to be covered. In fact, if you were to remove a couple of other things and you were to compare Ashley Biden's diary, which should be like the number 1 thing right now, and if you were to compare it to, like, let's say anything at all in the news, like what's something that's completely irrelevant, not to be talked about? Let's go for Squid Game, right? Like if you were to put in Squid Game, you can see that Squid Game is way more popular than Ashley Biden's diary, despite the fact being that Ashley Biden's diary shows that the president is a child molester. But as you can see here, nobody talks about that shit compared to a show that came out over a month ago that is kind of irrelevant at this point. So you can just see how bad this is getting. And if you were to look on Google and see how suppressed this thing is, look right here. You look up on Google, which is what everybody uses, and people are, instead of saying, oh, here's the PDF of the diary, or Google being honest and being like, okay, well, this is what happened, Joe Biden's a child molester, they're being like, oh, people tied to Project Veritas are being scrutinized in the theft of diary. They're not even covering what's in the diary. They're just saying the FBI, 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 FBI. What? Who cares about the FBI? It's about what's in the fucking diary, not what happened after it leaked. Who cares? So you go on the New York Times, right? And you see this, and you're like, okay, are you going to mention what's in the actual, what is in the actual contents of the diary? There's nothing in here. They're just saying like, oh, you burglarized the diary, as if it's like, oh, you burglarized my 10-year-old daughter's, pony research book. Like, shut the fuck up. This has like really important stuff in it. And all of a sudden, oh, it's all about, oh, you got raided by the FBI, O'Keefe. Like, who cares? So yeah, that's it. That's their coverage. It's like if you raided Jeffrey Epstein's island and the whole thing was, oh, there was a raid on the island. It's like, what's in there? What are in the vaults? What is the child porn? What is the stuff in there? Where are the drugs? Where are the slaves? And you're over here being like, but the FBI raid. Like, stop obfuscating. This is ridiculous. This is such a bad censorship from the media. It's super gay, honestly. Okay. Now let's look over here. This is the 2020 election result, and if you look at this, it looks pretty, like, obviously you know what this is. Now, this is what I would probably predict if everybody knew, if everybody just saw this video, if everybody heard what was in the diary from me, I would say this is what they would say. Joe Biden is a terrible father. His family has a ton of issues, and if at the bare minimum you are completely immoral, like a vouch, pedophile, leftist, atheist, piece of shit, communist, you could at the very least say, like, okay, this could bring up scandal by people that are not as cringe as I, or you could say, well, this could weigh on Joe, and he's already a senile retard. Like, this is not good. Like, what if he's like, imagine Joe Biden dealing with Bin Laden, dealing with all these people, dealing with Kim Jong-un historically as a bad guy, and then being like, oh my god, oh my daughter, oh okay, my daughter's cutting herself, oh my daughter's back in rehab. But like, that cannot help. So I would say Georgia would flip Republican. I would say Arizona would flip Republican. And again, we're not going to talk about the shenanigans of 2020 because, of course, that is bad. We're not going to, like, I cannot cover that because of the guidelines. And I don't know if this video will even upload because of the guidelines, but we're going to go ahead and go for it. Now, only 10% of the people polled, or at least 9% of Democrats knew about, so there was a poll after the election that said, if you knew about the Hunter Biden stuff, would you have voted for Joe Biden? And 9% of the people who voted for Joe Biden said they wouldn't have. So let's assume that they knew about the Ashley Biden stuff and the Hunter Biden stuff, and the media didn't cover it up. In that case, Joe Biden would have lost like 10% of his vote in the turnout. So in that case, we could see Pennsylvania going Republican, Michigan, Wisconsin. We could see a state like Nevada go Republican as well. In that case, we could probably see a 10-point swing in this case to the entirety of Nebraska. We could see Minnesota flip. We could see a state like New Hampshire flip. Sorry, I colored the wrong part of Maine. We're going to go ahead and get that part right. Okay, so basically this could have been the map had people known about the Ashley Biden thing. And if people like really, really knew about it, like him like molesting his kid, or at least knowing about it, then maybe we could see this as a far-fetched scenario. And that's what he deserved, because honestly, the only reason why he won, so to speak, was because of him stealing it. I mean, stealing his daughter's innocence. That's what I meant. Nothing to do with the election. Nothing to do with the election. The election was perfectly fine. It was reasonable. I'm saying he stole his daughter's innocence. That's it. He stole her. Oh, God, my alarm went off. Oh, God damn it. Sorry. Okay, anyways. The only thing he stole from Ashley was her innocence and her father figure. That's it. Nothing to do with the election. It was perfectly fine. Nothing happened. Okay, he won by a lot. Wow. Okay, so yes, here is the video. This is the entire audiobook for Ashley Biden plus some commentary. Hope you guys liked it. If you didn't, then that's too bad for you. And comment down below what you thought, and tell me if you want more audiobook sort of material going forward, because I theoretically could do that, I suppose. Anyways, I'm gone. Adios. Hasta la vista, baby.